Hey guys, my name is Therese, and I enjoy crafting and art, but I am far from a professional. I half the time don't even know what I'm doing and just kind of winging it. But I figured I'd have you guys join me in the process of learning, attempting, trying, possibly failing at whatever we're making that day. Today we are going to work on Harry Potter broomsticks. They could be used for whatever you want, really. Charms, miniature scenes. I chose to make them into earrings. They're probably too big for earrings in the end, but that's okay. Maybe I'll wear them once. Who knows? But yeah, let's just hop on into it. So I'm using polymer clay, and I have some wire just for structural integrity. I think that's about like 3 inches long for the wire. I didn't have dimensions. I didn't measure anything out. I just kind of went for it. And I'm putting on some liquid clay just to help it stick a little bit better. I honestly am not fully sure what the best method for all this would be. So I'm winging it right here. Yeah. Rolling it out so you get like a smoother surface and just like clipping off the extra edges. And then so this is going to be the Nimbus 2000 broom, or Nimbus, I'm not really sure how it's said. But yeah, there's like a little bend in it from all the photos I've seen. So I just kind of like roughly measured that out. And at the handle portion, it's just a little bit wider. So I just threw on like a little extra piece of clay for that and smoothed it out, made it look pretty decent. So then I took off another chunk of clay and just to make the broom portion, like the bristles, kind of shaped it into the rough idea of what this broom looks like, and added more of that liquid clay, just using it pretty much kind of like glue, and threw that onto the end portion. And then I used a popsicle stick, because that's, just using whatever I got around me to like help me out with some extra detail work. And now I'm adding in just the idea of bristles in the broom, and I realized that the popsicle stick, once again, is the better option, surprisingly. And I just threw that on and try to make it as, I don't know, I say realistic, but that's not really fully what I'm going for. And then the broom had colors I did not have in my arsenal. So we just kind of did with a dark brown and then like a medium brown for the handle portion. Nothing too crazy, keeping it fairly simple. I feel like if I went too detailed, I would somehow mess up somewhere. But that's fine. Yeah, that looks pretty decent. And then just to bring out some of the details that we added into the broom, like the bristle portion, I added some lighter brown. I just lightened up the medium brown with some white, nothing crazy. And I dry brushed that on there. It kind of brings out the markings that we threw in. Alright, so here I am trying to attempt at writing the Nimbus 2000 little logo on the side of the broom. I used a toothpick. I might have had something that would have worked better, but at the time, a toothpick seemed like a great idea. Now looking back at it, it doesn't seem like the best idea. But that's what we did. And now so all the photos showed I had like what I'm going to call a kickstand. It was like a golden kickstand. So I'm gonna use wire to try to make that. I went for the slightly thicker wire. This one's like 20 gauge. And I had absolutely no idea how I was gonna make this work. So I just started experimenting with folding and bending the wire in all forms and fashion. This was a very large struggle. But you know, I guess with no plan going in, it came out okay. But yeah, I just kind of made little feet, I guess you could call it. It kind of worked, and then I was trying to like secure them in by wrapping them around each other. None of this makes sense really, but you'll see once it's all done. It did end up working, but I'm pretty sure there was many other ways that would have been much more simple and came out 10 times better. But you know, this is what we ended up using. Now I'm just trying to figure out how to anchor it to the broom. So the anchoring did end up working with all that extra wire that I had left over. I just wrapped it around the end of it, but I do wish I chose to take the very ends and like kind of curl them just as an extra like added detail, and it would have made it so we didn't have just like blunt wire ends that were sharp. I tried using these little plier things. I had to like squish the wire down against it more, but that did not work. I was too afraid to break it. And so we're just gonna have to let it live with some blunt ends of wires just existing on there. And I couldn't get the wire tight enough and staying tight on the broom. So Gorilla Glue had to come out. That's like our best friend. And it did its job. It did a lovely job actually. But yeah, and now since I want to make this into, oh yeah, I'm still trying to use those stupid pliers that don't end up working. But yeah, then I clipped the edges of the wire just to kind of make it less sharp. So if you do end up wearing them, no one's going to get like stabbed in the face, because that would, you know, no one wants that. But yeah, and now I'm adding, I guess I don't know what you'd call it. I'm gonna call it the anchor for the earring piece to hold on to. My main problem or concern really, I made it difficult. I wanted this broom, when you're wearing it, to be like in a horizontal position, not vertical. Mainly just because it's meant to be a Harry Potter broom, so it's supposed to be like floating and flying. So I wanted it to look like that as you were wearing it. And I cut way too small of a piece of wire, so I had to redo that. Yep. So we're redoing that now. But I'm just gonna wrap this piece of wire right back around that same area that we put what I'm calling the kickstand. And that kinda works. Like, we're gonna have more blunt wire ends again, which once again is not ideal. And then in the process of doing this, of trying to wrap this wire around there, I have a hard time. The wire is really a struggle for me, but I end up breaking the handle on the broom in the process. You see me staring at it. Yeah, it's not a big break, and that's the whole reason why we put that first initial wire inside the clay, because now it's not like two complete pieces separated. That kind of still held it together a little bit, and we're just gonna take our trusty Gorilla Glue and kind of give it a little hand, and that's gonna pretty much fix that problem, and then we can pretend that never happened. And then we're gonna glue that other piece of wire, because I am terrible at wrapping wire. But yeah, it does end up working. Then we're just gonna cut those pieces off again, because no one wants to be stabbed while they wear a pair of earrings. And that's pretty much it. I like how it like stands up, so really chances are for me, these earrings are gonna be more of a decor piece than like a wearable piece, but you never know. I might give it a shot for a few hours one day. But personally, I think they came out pretty decent, seeing as I've never seen earrings like this before, and it was my first time giving this a try. Look at that, those are cute. Alright, thanks guys. Had a good time with you. See you next time.